Hello everyone, welcome to this special conversation on the theme burning before the throne. Now, this is not just a phrase, this is a call to action for every believer to always keep the heart aflame for God in every season of their life. Now, tomorrow we're having a powerful service at City Birmingham where we're going to be discussing this further. And we hope to see you there, but in the meantime, Jane, please tell us, what does it mean to burn before the throne?
So my take on burning before the throne is a life that remains on God's altar, yielding to his fire. Because the Bible also tells us in Leviticus, I think 6 verses 12 to 13, that the fire on your altar needs to keep burning. It shall not be put out, it should not be put out. So it's very important that your altar is burning. And burning before the throne is not something you do inconsistently. It's not an occasional moment you feel like doing it today, the next day you don't want to do it. You have to keep doing it. You need to consistently surrender your life to God, to the Holy Spirit. You need to desire hunger, for him, for his presence, to commune with him. You know what I mean? Because another thing is, the Bible also reminds us in Hebrews 12 verses 29 that God is a consuming fire. Therefore, burning before his throne, it makes us aligned to his nature. It helps, he empowers us. We align to his will. He refines us. He changes us. He transforms us for his glory, for the master's use. So it's very important that every believer should have an altar that is speaking, an altar that is burning.
True.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
True, that is so powerful and so true. Like to keep it burning, you need to constantly be in communion with Father. That is so true. But it's like, with the whole demands of life, like with school, with like work or family or everything, because it can be very distracting. But so it might be difficult to keep that altar burning regularly or constantly, like the way God has intended us to. So I feel like it's something that we have to be very intentional about. But luckily, God has given us the provisions for this by the ministry of the Holy Spirit. So, which gives us strength and gives us empowerment and to continue keeping the altar burning. Now, I think it was Romans chapter 12 verse 11 where it says, never be lacking in your zeal, or keep your spiritual fervor burning for God. So this is like this means to me like, you need to be intentional, like you said, in keeping your altar burning. Like for example, Moses saw the fire. He didn't run from the fire. He went to the fire. But yeah, like these days we tend to run away from the fire, but we actually need to run towards the fire and not neglect like brethrens, like gatherings, fellowship. Because that's a good practical way to always keep your altar burning when you're in the midst of like other people, other believers especially. So for me, like especially keeping that altar burning is the little ways that I keep that altar burning daily. Like when I'm literally walking on the road, I'm praying in the spirit, or when I'm at work doing my little clicky-clacky, I'm praying in the spirit. I'm always like trying to find little ways, like, or even when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm playing worship music or trying to worship God, or trying to find, or even when I'm on the bus going to work, I'm praying in the spirit, doing my devotion. Like there's actually no excuse, but that's a different topic. But these are practical ways to keep it burning, and then what that happens, like it will allow you to keep your heart sensitive to the Holy Spirit, and you can hear from it, and he will guide you and give you strength to continue doing what you're doing for him. God has baptized us in both the Holy Spirit and fire. So I feel like the Holy Spirit is the flame, and what we have to do, it's not really too much work, it's just to stir it up daily by doing or like those short moments of prayer, worshiping.
That is very powerful, which is doing those days. Keeping your altar burning, you have to be intentional about it. If you're not intentional, it's gonna go off. You need to keep feeding it daily, because if you don't put wood to fire, it's gonna go out. An altar without fire is literally just a structure.
True. You know what I mean? Wow.
But like when the fire falls on an individual, the ordinary person will be used become a vessel to carry the divine power of God.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what people tend to do nowadays is put God in second position, neglect their altars, neglect their secret place. Because now, when the enemy attacks, your altar is not speaking.
It's not
do you know what I mean? So it's very important to have an altar that keeps
touching. You're gonna be cold.
Do you know what I mean? You know, not look comments around here.
That was so powerful. Thank you so much for your insights. And thank you so much, guys. Hope you were blessed and picked up something.
Yeah. Please don't only be a hearer, but a doer. Keep that fire, keep that flame. Let your audience. If you are person time to be.